Wow. Hopefully all the audio is working, and this is a big moment in around the around the bonfire history, as this is our first time we got more than one guest with the power technology and invested in me. I am joined by the number 9 of David Medina, David Brenner in the 22, Joseph Wolpus in the '07, and Kyle Anat in the 988. And we are all joining you here after the Race for Suicide Prevention 195. It was our championship race at Miami Homestead, and it just finished. And I have the championship 4 here with me today. So if you're out there in chat, please interact with us, ask any questions to the drivers. We would appreciate the interaction with you guys, as that's the main part of what we do here. But yeah, guys, how's it going? How's everybody feeling after that race? We'll start off with Kyle. I'll just start with you, Kyle. Go ahead and just anything you want to talk about or how your race go, and we'll just kind of work down the line, and feel free to talk amongst each other too. Have at it.
Yeah, that race was exhausting. I've said it 100 times, and I will continue to say it. I absolutely hate that track with a passion. It is not a track I have ever been good at. So I thought I figured it out. Thought maybe I had a good strategy with the 3-stopper instead of a 2, and it just didn't pan out.
Kyle, did at least when you did try the 3-stopper, did any cautions mess up that strategy for you during the race, or was it able to work out?
Yeah, that caution coming out made it so that I wasn't able to, undercut Medina and Joe and Brenner. That's what I was hoping for, was just to steadily undercut them each time, and then with that last one, just be able to come out and have fresher tires and drive away from them, and off into the sunset. But
Right on. Yeah, no, that's I tried a similar strategy. We had a race at Monday Night League, and not to make it about myself, but yes, I tried the same strategy, and I got stuck by a caution. So I totally feel that, especially against some of your competitors. You're trying to do something different in order to give yourself the best chance to win. So great job in trying it and having the balls to have that strategy there, Kyle. So
yeah, much appreciated.
right on. And then okay, Joseph, we'll go with you in the '07 today. How'd your race go? What was your what do you think you could have done better, and maybe what was the moment where you knew, or just talk to me about your race, man.
Yeah, so I know Kyle was talking about the one caution of the race. So I was actually involved in the one caution of the race. Not a fun time. Malarkey tried to side draft me off turn 4, and he ended up getting in my left rear. And we were going down the front stretch, and I was pretty much across his front nose. I was able to get my car straight, but Malarkey ended up hitting the inside wall, and then he slid up and spun out in turn 1. So that was the unfortunate one caution. I was able to slip away with just locking up the tires a lot, and thankfully nobody hit me while I was doing like 100 in the middle of the racetrack. So thanks to everybody who came by the front stretch while I'm going like 100 in the middle of the track for not hitting me when that happened. So whoever it was, I saw a bunch of cars zooming on both sides. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think I was around you for a little bit too. Like you got real slow for some reason, and then I know we were trying to make our way by you, but then you got back going and flew by me again. But yeah, no, good job on saving it. Where'd you end up finishing, Joe?
So I ended up finishing 6th. So I think what you're thinking about is when I came out of pit road, is you, Jose Medina, and I think Tommy Fox were all in a group together, and I came out like in the worst spot possible on cold tires because I had to run the low line, and I tried to stick it underneath, and it just did not turn. And I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I don't hit Tommy on the high side. And then you and Jose just came flying past me. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, me and Jose were battling. Like, we had our own little battle there. And I thought at the end there, I let Jose go by. I say let, but I don't know. I thought I could reel him back in at the end. And he had a lot of good speed there and able to keep up it up front. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't get involved with you there, Joe.
Yeah, so then pretty much at that point, I was just trying to make as much lap time, and I made probably about 3 mistakes, knowing that I had all the pressure on me to make sure I can get as far away from David Medina as I could. and try and preserve any sort of a gap I would have. And I probably overdrove the car about 3 or 4 times, and that pretty much was all she wrote.
Yeah, when you're trying to come from behind and have the pressure put on, and it's tough. It's where a lot of mistakes happen. So I mean, you did a great job for all that pressure. I mean, it's the last race to make it work, and yeah, I understand, man. I've been in your position before, and it sucks having to have drive with that pressure and then make mistakes along the way when you're definitely racing against people like Medina and Brenner and Kyle that don't make a whole lot of mistakes. So well done there, Joe. And then Mr. Brenner, number 22. Tell me about your race and what you saw from your point of view.
Well, I'm gonna say I had an incredible race today. This is a track I'm usually not very good at. Actually, some of the throughout my iRacing career, if you will, Miami is the one track where something weird and wild is going to happen. It's going to be at Miami. I usually don't finish good here, so I'm incredibly happy with my race today. It was I had the thing. It just felt like I had the thing figured out really good. I thought I had a really good strategy going in to try to undercut Medina, but there was a little dust up on pit road that kind of messed that up. But the car just felt so good to me today. I just had an incredible result. It was, even though I finished third in the race and second in the championship, I mean, it's such a great result for me here. I just couldn't be happier.
Yeah, David. I think we mentioned, me and Mr. Medina, we mentioned in our other episode that I was just really impressed with you this season and how well you've been running. And this was just the cherry on top to finish. I think it was only a couple seconds behind David there. And great job, man. Well done again.
I really got to give a huge shout out to my teammates for they helped me out a whole lot this season with just figuring out especially how to set up the brakes on this car. That's something I never was able to really figure out before, but this season they really helped me a whole lot with figuring out these brakes, and I've just been having a incredible season.
Right on.
It's been really good, and I couldn't be happier with how it ended up. I mean, I could be if I got a win, but but for how it went, I mean, I'm super happy with the season. Super grateful for my teammates. Just great stuff going on this season. It was all good.
That's awesome, David. I'm glad to hear that the teammates helped you out, and that's why we have teammates in that community. And Bonfire is to really promote that type of stuff. So great job. Shout out to Gulf Coast, which all your teammates are here. 3 of your teammates out of the 4 were in the championship 4. So that just goes to show how well GCR was working together this year. And that leads us to our last man is David Medina, the number 9. He did win the championship. Congratulations to you, David, for winning. Is this your 3rd or 4th championship in the next gen car?
Yeah, it's the 4th one.
Okay. Wow. 4th championship for Mr. Medina from Team Fokum. He was the only Team Fokum driver there today. And all right, David, let's give us your point of view from the race and what you saw out there and how it went.
Yeah, I mean, my main focus on this race today was to keep the car neutral as long as I possibly could. So that was from the drop of the green flag. I wanted to focus on keeping the car neutral and prevent the loose off feeling as long as I possibly could. I felt that if I did that, that was going to be advantage for me towards the end or towards the end of a long run. And the GCR guys, as you already mentioned, those guys have really stepped it up this year. So I've normally ran pretty well here in the past, but I knew that I was going to have to do something different this year because they have stepped it up so much. And so that was my main focus going into this race, was keep the car neutral as long as possible and see if I couldn't stretch out some of the lead and stuff. And seemed to work all right for the first run. The other thing I paid attention to was I was keeping an eye on who was going to pit first between the GCR guys, and I think it was Kyle and Not that did. And my goal on that was to kind of see, how long would it take for me to catch back up to him, just to see it on the second pit stop, just to try to gauge, the time of when I needed to pit versus the time he did. So just a lot of chess games going on, just knowing that these GCR drivers have really stepped up their game. And like you mentioned, all of them, 3 out of 4 of them were in the final 4. So that just goes to show the talent on that team. And so I knew I couldn't approach it like I had in the past, and I knew I had to do something different on my end. So can't do anything on the setup, for the most part. So I knew I had to do something different as far as my driving style.
Right on. Well, David, well done again, man. You are just methodical and steady, and very rarely make a mistake. And this year ended up, like you said, being your fourth championship. A lot for all us other drivers to learn from. I guess what I want to do now is if in between you four drivers, is there anything you want to ask each other, or any questions you guys have for anyone?
Yeah, I had a question for Joseph. So that after that last pit stop coming towards the end of the race, where I was trying to catch up to you, were you mirror driving?
Yeah, so pretty much, I remember when I came out of pit road, like I said, with Kevin and them, I was like, man, I know how much time I just lost when that happened. And then I pressed like the next like 2 laps. I know Kyle saw me in front of them where I took a detour down the front stretch one of those laps through the through the apron. And I'm like, man, every time I do this, I know David's gonna be closer. It's just gonna be so close. And then when I saw you as close as you were, it's like, all right, I got to try and see if I can run the same kind of line, the same kind of pace, and see if I can hold him off until the end of the race. And the tires just got to a point where it just got way too loose in the center.
Yeah, I kind of noticed it got loose a little bit, and on my stream I was kind of just talking about don't force the issue, and I knew there was a couple lap difference between your set and my set, so I was trying to use that towards my advantage and stuff. But it's that old saying, catching somebody's one thing and passing them is another. And I noticed you were running the high line and didn't have a whole lot of laps left, and that was where my concern was. I've gotten beat quite a few times this year on short runs, and you guys have been really, really good, on short runs, including yourself. So I do want to also congratulate you. You've improved leaps and bounds. I think I've said that on my stream as well, before. Is that the speed that you've shown has really been impressive. So nice work.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I wish I could have shown it a little more this season. A couple bad luck kind of breaks with cautions and stuff over the course of the season to really be up front and battle you like last season. But
yeah, I suspect next season we'll be seeing a lot more of that. And Brenner, same thing. I mean, Kevin hit the nail on the head as far as your performance and stuff. I mean, phenomenal job by you, and just constantly running up front and pace laps and stuff like that. And it's good to hear that you guys are sharing that kind of information that's making each other better. That's a great part of being on a team, right? Is being able to share that kind of information and see what works for you. And you guys definitely shown the teamwork been solid this year.
Let's see, Kyle or David, anything else off the top of your head?
For me, I just want to say that it's nice to see that the rest of the teams are recognizing that GCR has come a long way, because we definitely were. Owens has always been up there. He's been doing it a lot longer than most of us. So I know when I first started a few seasons ago, I was, running off of a 15-inch laptop hooked through an HDMI cable to a 40-inch TV and hoping for the best, and still finishing, 20th, 25th. And I got my stuff set up to where I feel a lot more comfortable being able to drive around other cars for myself personally. And, then working with Owens and, having him just explain different tracks and different setups, having the brakes, and, piggybacking off of what Brenner said, the brake setup on these is key, at least from what I've noticed for myself. And being able to be competitive, but yet right on that fine line of like out of control. And, then obviously on the other side of it, being able to say that we're competitive with, Mr. 4-time over here, that goes a long way for myself and my confidence. And I know it does for the rest of the guys as well.
Still can't, even hearing you say it, it still hasn't settled in, 4-time. It's still hasn't settled in on that part.
I think there's a rule coming up. If you win 5, you have to exit
There you go.
series till the next car comes out. Is what I'm hearing from my producer. But
All I hear is Medina in the wall. Oh no, I didn't win the championship.
Oh,
Yeah, it's speaking of mirror driving. I was doing a little bit of that on the last laps myself. I'm sure Jared is probably not too happy with me. But yeah, I came out.
Jared's never
and,
too happy. Jared's
Yeah, I
always-
came out of that pit and I could see Medina. It was so frustrating. I was like, I see him, and my interval is just not changing. I'm like, oh man. And then here comes Jared. I was like, well, I guess we're doing this instead. Jared got in the wall a couple times behind me to take away his line. I was like, I'm sure he's not going to be happy about this, but yeah. But yeah, Medina is yours. Yeah, I mean, I just gotta say, you're such a great driver. I mean, you really deserve a championship. And I mean, we've both been in this league for a really long time, and it's always Medina. I was talking about, Medina's kind of the one guy that kind of like, he's gonna race you clean, and just racing with Medina is an accomplishment. Just being up there in the mix with someone like him is just so good, and it's a great reflection on yourself and a great reflection on Medina, just how talented he is and how gracious he is out there. He's doesn't race you dirty or wreck you or anything. He's just fast. It's like, man, I want to be like that.
Yeah, he can. He just beats you. He just beats you clean without any funny business. So that is a big testament to how great a driver David is. And I know he's a good example for the rest of us to kind of follow. But we all have our different personalities and temperaments, so that's what makes it fun out there on the track. But one last thing, I guess, before we get this thing going and let you guys go, if any of you have had a chance to see the upcoming changes to the next season, does anything stick out to you? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you apprehensive of the changes? Or just I wanted to kind of get your thoughts of it live here, put you guys on the spot.
Well, I'll start here. I looked at it. Honestly, I'm still a little bit confused about it. I'm not really sure what's going on. So I was like, I'm just gonna kind of take this the way I kind of approach everything in the various leagues I run, because I run so many and they all got slightly different rules. I'm just gonna go out here and just freaking do it and see what happens.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, but it's fine.
Perfect.
As long as it's still fun racing, that's what counts for me. So.
All right, good. That's perfect. That's what I was going for.
I'm excited for it. I think it's cool to see different things being tried out. And it keeps things fresh. With the pro versus the AM. Kind of a defining line, but at the same time, it's you're still going to have a lot of the AM guys that are competitive with pro, and it'll keep it fun. It's people are afraid of change, but I think next season is just going to be as fun and entertaining as this one was.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping. I just we'll see how it goes. If it's success, we might add a couple of wrinkles. Because I was telling David, maybe even next season, if it works out pretty well, we could do an AM pro team where we have 2 Cup drivers and 2 AM drivers as your teammates, and then you guys kind of go off and I'm still trying to think of something good for the teams to win, or how to incentivize it. So, but like you guys, and then just another thing, you guys, where I am in Discord. You guys ever have any suggestions or ideas? Don't be afraid to DM me anything. I'm always an open door. So if you guys have any concerns with that stuff, I can usually take the time and talk to anybody out there. And then anybody listening out there too, shoot me a DM in chat or a link. And then if you want to get an interview here, or you didn't get a chance on the VRN YouTube broadcast, I can get you set up in here if you have something to say or anything else, as this is probably going to be our last broadcast till I think we're gonna do a pro-am pro driver reveal show where I show the rosters, and we'll just work it out, because I know we're gonna have guys joining and leaving the season, and we'll work around that. So but yeah, we'll figure it out.
Kevin, if you don't mind, I got one more thing.
Yes, of course.
I want to say I appreciate you dubbing this the Race for Suicide Prevention 195. that's huge for me. I said it at the beginning of the broadcast. For the race during my interview there, but it hits home for me, with my dad, a few years ago, and just want to touch base again, that it's something that's really overlooked, especially in the male population. So having this, I know it's small, but even if it's just one person that it helps, I think it's huge, and I just appreciate you letting me have the opportunity to do that. And I stand by if anybody ever needs to chat. I'm always available. DM me. I'm happy to give out my phone number, whatever the case might be. But I just appreciate it.
Yeah, Kyle, anytime, man. I wanted to make something funny about paying me. I mean, you pay me money, I'll put your name on anything around here. But the joke aside, though, you're right though, Kyle. It was an honor being able to set this up with you, and thank you to David Owens for making the logo for us and the graphic. And like you said, it's a great cause, and it's something to bring attention to everybody as we all go through problems. And but yeah, Kyle, thank you for that and bringing attention to it, and especially with your paint job. Every week it's a small reminder to all of us that there's a way out, there's hope, and there's always someone to talk to. So thank you for that, Kyle.
Thank you.
All right, well, you guys, if there's nothing else off the top of your heads or anything, I'll probably let you guys go. You guys already been in the chairs long enough. It's 9:15 in the morning here over in SoCal, and then I'm not sure where you got Florida, where that is where that is, somewhere on the East Coast.
A very small state down in the corner.
Hey,
it's hard to see because it's so square shaped. And
Kyle, where are you out of?
I'm up in the mountains of Colorado. I'm
right,
about a
thank
mile
God.
and a half up.
All right, good. All right, I was like, it's gonna be an all Florida championship. No, Joe, where are you from again?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, that's right. Okay, the two Davids are from Florida. That's right.
I mean, I was down in Florida. I lived in Fort Lauderdale for 5 years before I moved back to Estes Park, Colorado. So,
Where do you like more, Colorado or Florida?
oh God, give me Colorado. Give me the
Colorado.
mountains all day long.
Yeah, I had an aunt and uncle live in Fort Lauderdale for a while, and yeah, it's very humid.
Mm-hmm.
You're not used to it. It's rough. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for the viewers out there. We'll be back with a show for like the reveal, like the rosters, where I'll probably put like a nice, like I'll make it like a draft. We'll have fun with it, and we'll reveal maybe an AM driver first, and then a pro, and just have fun with it. That's what it's all about. And then if you guys ever want to sponsor a race, let me know. Kyle reached out to me, and he sponsored this race. I think Paul Ferdani, he reached out to me. He's going to sponsor a race for next season. All that money just goes towards like building trophies, the hosted sessions, paying for the broadcast. I should have a legit like PDF of where the money goes, so I could show you guys like transparency. But I appreciate you guys trusting me with the money. If you see me keep buying hats or something weird going on, then you guys should start asking questions. But I appreciate it all, and big shout out to Dennis and Jared Kelly. Like I said, Jared Kelly was behind the idea of this, so for the next season going forward and helping me with the graphics and whatnot. Dennis always there for me, and all the guys from VRN. Congratulations, David Medina, on the season 12 in the books. Looking forward to season 13. Starts the week after Mother's Day. And then we're gonna go straight through 15 weeks again, right? I think it ends the weekend before Labor Day or Memorial Day. It's whenever one's in August or September. I'm terrible with this stuff. So we got 2 drop weeks. So don't be afraid to take a week off. Enjoy your vacation. That's kind of the idea behind it. So I guess that's it, guys. Congratulations making the Champ 4. David Medina, 4-timer, and there you go. He conquered. He got it done. But thank you guys for your time. We'll see you next season. Remember, you guys make the league. I'm just fortunate to be a part of it and help make this thing grow for all y'all. So love you guys. God bless, and we'll see you guys out in the track for season 13. Take care, guys.
See you guys later.
Having us.
Sorry, guys. That was terrible ending. Everyone was saying bye. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one.